Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua B'Shem Ukakudah. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. When entitle this topic, I'm going to entitle this video BTTB, Back to the Basics. What's the GMS Israelites take on Isaiah 14 verse by verse, because we were trying to go through this chapter this past Saturday and the Saturday past that. Wind up going into other topics, other precepts, and we still wanted to cover Jeremiah chapter 51. So let's see if we can make this relatively quick. It says below is a neutral, descriptive summary of how GMS Great Millstone Israelites commonly interpret Isaiah 14 verse by verse. This is not an endorsement. GMS is a controversial group, and their reading differ sharply from mainstream Jewish and Christian scholarship. They don't recognize us, and we don't recognize them. I'll keep it clear, non-graphic, and explanatory, and I'll note where their views depart from standard interpretations. Big picture GMS framework for Isaiah 14. GMS teaches that Israelite today equal so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American people. Then you got Israelites scattered throughout the whole planet, but the focus is on the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American people of America. The focus is here on in America. That's what our Lord and Savior Yahushua HaMashiach told the apostles. That ultimately, and I have an actual whole list on that, but I always go to that one precept or that one scripture in Acts 1 and 8 verse. You can start the 6th verse. You can really start the 1st verse, but the 8th verse, that you're to prophesy in Judea, Jerusalem, Samaria, and to the uttermost part of the earth. The uttermost part of the earth, he said that in the Levant. So what's the uttermost part of the earth? The west. Go to the uttermost part of the west, you got Canada in the north. You got America, the U.S. in the middle. Then you got Central and South America to the south. But the focus is here in America, Babylon. The Central and South America is not Babylon. Canada is not Babylon. Africa is not Babylon. Babylon, that great city, or the daughter of Babylon, spoken of in Revelation, but in code in the Old Testament. For example, Isaiah 13 speaks about Babylon. That's talking about America. Isaiah seeing the prophecy of the downfall of Babylon the Great. The city of Babylon, the daughter of Babylon. Same goes for Jeremiah 50, just to give you another example. It says Babylon equals modern Western power structures, especially the U.S. and Europe. Edom equals white Europeans, whom they see as ruling now, but this destined to fall. They said the ruling powers are you so-called Europeans, mainly coming out of the U.S., America. It tells you in Daniel chapter 7, whose look was more stout than his fellows. The American Edomite is more stout than the Europeans. As a matter of fact, I was watching something. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I think it was a video where Trump is pretty much talking smack about Europe. There's information that Germany, for example, is pretty much crumbling on an economic level, and that's your the defeat of it. Part iron and part miry clay. It says Edom equals white Europeans, whom they see as ruling now, but destined to fall. Isaiah 14 is read as prophecy about the end of current global power, not ancient history only. You know what I'm going to do? Let me do this. Is Isaiah chapter 14 a future prophecy? Yes. Isaiah chapter 14 is widely seen as a prophecy with a double reference, meaning it applies both to the historical fall of the king of Babylon after Judah's exile. Well, that's not true, because the first verse says how the kingdom of Judah and the kingdom of Israel is going to get back together. And a future ultimate judgment on a spiritual Babylon representing evil world system. What could be more evil than these people that we're talking about? The elite and its ruler. The elite, or rulers, often linked to Satan, right, the physical counterpart of Satan. It promises restoration for the Most High's people and taunts the powerful oppressor with the downfall of ancient Babylon circa 534 BC. And it says around, it means circa. Circa, you get the word circle. So you can say around 534 BC or circa 534 BC. Look it up. Look it up. Fulfilling the near prophecy, while the spiritual fulfillment points to end time events. Now, Vocab Malone said that Isaiah 14:1 and 2 is referring to Israelites that enslaved the Babylonians, the Neo-Babylonians. And that's not true. Now, it did say that the Israelites had servants, because the Neo-Babylonian system was sort of a feudal system, a tributary of tax. So when Israel was taken over, the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violent taken by force, which are the Romans. They took us over, and they took all the other nations over. And what they did was they said, we're not going to put you in slavery. You're just going to have to be taxed. It's another form of slavery. If you pay tax to somebody over you, that means you're a slave to that person. So there's more than one form of slavery. So let's come on back. Let's come on back. Okay, where are we? Isaiah 14, GMS, verse by verse, understanding, verse 1 and 2. Restoration of Israel, right? National Israel. Israel will be chosen again. Yeah, because when it says Jacob and Israel, right? Coming back together. Other nations will serve Israel. Yep, number one on the list are the Edomites. GMS, this refers to a future reversal of slavery and oppression. What does it mean by reversal? If you're a wrestler and somebody's on the top of you and you storm over and you're on top of him, that's called a reversal. And you get points for that. So it says GMS, this refers to a future reversal of slavery and oppression. So whoever oppressed us, the reversal of that is we're going to oppress them. That's what the second verse is all about. And Google just said there's a future prophecy. They interpret strangers as other nations being placed under Israel. No, we never did. You got to change that. The strangers are also Israelites. See, we wake up to this thing piecemeal, in an incremental manner. Verses 3 and 4. End of oppression. Israel, we're still being oppressed, by the way. We're still being oppressed. Israel will rest from suffering. That's the kingdom. The rest is coming. We seek a, what does it say in the scriptures? We seek a city to come. It says its rest will be glorious. Where the hell is that at? We seek a city to come. Bible. Hebrews 13 and 14. The phrase we seek a city to come comes from Hebrews 13 and 14. Let me go ahead and read it. Going to the King James. For here have we no continuing city, but we seek one to come. The city that we're seeking to come is the kingdom of heaven on earth. Let me come on back. There yet remaineth a rest for us. Bible. Okay, Hebrews. Let me go ahead and bring it up. Let's see what it says. Hebrews 4:9. Let's see what it says. There remains therefore a rest for the people of the Most High, which are the Israelites. This kingdom shall not be left to other people. So let's come on back to, let me bring this back. Okay, we're back here. 3rd and 4th verse. End of oppression. Israel will rest from suffering. A proverb, taunt, is spoken against the oppressor. So the Most High set it up where he set up the prophets, the chosen elect, to go out there and tell them that they're going down. GMS. This is Israel mocking their former rulers after liberation. No, we're mocking them now, but we're going to mock them in the kingdom too. In their glory we shall boast ourselves. Isaiah 61. Verses 5 and 6. Broken staff and scepter. Staff represents power, rulership. Scepter represents kingship, rulership. The oppressor's power is destroyed. It's in the process of being destroyed. Isaiah 47. Let's go to that real quick. Isaiah 47. Remember, this book is written in code. Isaiah 47. Lament for Babylon. That's also in Isaiah 13. Come down and sit in the dust. Dust represents confusion. You don't know what's going on. You don't know why. The average Edomite in America, they don't realize why their paychecks, what they get paid is not going far enough. They got the same money that they had 10 years ago, but 10 years ago that money went pretty far. And then at the same time, prices are going up. So they're feeling the pinch. You're in the process of your downfall, and we are in the process of the Most High lifting us up. When the Canaanites were taken out, Deuteronomy chapter 7, it said that they were taken out little by little. It says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Not Babylon, not Neo-Babylon, but the U.S., the America. O virgin daughter, virgin meaning not been touched. Let me do this. Let me see what the word for virgin is. I don't know if it's going to be Bathwala. Bathwala. Never been poked. In other words, never been openly attacked in war. World War I, Dead War. The battlefield was over there in Europe. Italy, Germany. World War II, you had Russia that was allied with the United States against Germany. It says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind mill. That means work. Uncover thy locks. Make bare the legs. Uncover the thigh. Pass over the rivers. That's what bodies of land that you got to deal with ultimately with the Chinese. If the Chinese call for a embargo, and the word embargo, you got guys saying that the mark of the beast is an embargo. The word embargo is different from a tariff. The word embargo means we're not going to send you anything from our country. We're not going to export anything to your country. Most of the stuff that you get at a store outside of food, but you get the various food items from different countries as well. Look at the packages. Might come out of Mexico, might come out of what's this place? Argentina. Product of Argentina, product of Mexico, product of France. Talking about foods. But then your cars, your car parts, your TVs, your pretty much things that are not food items. I would say 95+% of what you get when you go to like the Costco's and the BJ's, it's all made in China. Your toothbrushes are made in China. So if they were to call on an embargo, then America would be a desert. So they can destroy you economically. They can make this place a barren wasteland or like a desert. Not a desert made with sand, but a desert meaning there's nothing that you can buy. They know that. And you know it. It says, take the millstone and grind, uncover thy locks, make bare the legs, uncover the thigh, pass over the river. Back in the 1800s, 1900s, if a white woman is on the beach, she'd have a petticoat on. She'd be covered. You couldn't even see her ankles. She had a bonnet on her head. So now you can see Edomite, well, you can see any woman you want, butt ass naked. You know? But on another level, it's talking about your shame. This thing with the Epstein files, man. They doing everything, because we all know, everybody motherfucking knows that he was down there and he did some shit. He did the same thing that the rest of them did. So he's doing all these things, these different wars, these different attacks, he's bringing a lot of confusion. But the more you hide it, the more people are interested in finding out what's going on. So this system is done. You got a real one in the top leadership. I don't see a new emperor coming up. And if he does, he'll be worse than this one. This is the beginning of the end for the Edomite kingdom. It says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yeah, thy shame shall be seen. And you got to mention the land of Israel. They bombed a wedding, Palestinian wedding. What are you going to say? Oh, we thought they were no. So the whole world sees this. I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man, because when that's talking about the Messiah. It's talking about the Messiah. Let's see what the Google says about that. Back to the basics. Isaiah 47 verse 3 prophesies Babylon utter downfall, symbolizing it as a proud woman stripped bare, her hidden shame and sins exposed for all to see, as the Most High unleashes severe, unyielding vengeance where no one, not even a man or intercessor, can stop his judgment. Yeah, there's nothing yet you can do. You can make treaties all you want, but it's going to backfire on you. It signifies the stripping away of Babylon's luxury, power, and dignity. It strips away of Babylon's luxury, power, and dignity. Now you got to go to Revelation 18, one of my favorite prophetic chapters. Revealing her inner corruption. This place is, the corruption is revealed. This current Neronian rulership, its cabinet is completely and utterly corrupt. Spiritual adultery and vulnerability to divine wrath. A complete reversal of her former glory. Shameful spewings. That's in Habakkuk. If I'm not mistaken. Shameful. I think it was 1L. Okay, let's come back. Let's try it this way. 1L instead of 2. Okay, there we have Habakkuk 2 and 16. Let me read Jeremiah 11 verse 13. For according to the number of the cities were thy gods, O Judah, talking about Judah, have ye set up altars to that shameful thing, even altars to burn incense unto Baal. Habakkuk 2 verse 16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, because we drunk it, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, talking about Esau, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. So the whole world sees what's going on. Let's come on back. Broken staff and scepter. The oppressor's power is destroyed. GMS, the fall of current ruling elites and systems, political, economic, and military. Political, economic, and military. Verses 7 and 8. World at rest. And the nations are going to be they're going to be happy because they have just rulers instead of corrupt rulers. Like I said, this is going to be a feudal system. You have the overlords, the kings, the ruling class. You have the vassals. The vassals are middle people. And then you have the serfs, the poor, the super poor. Because Esau is going to be a serf. The Edomites will be serfs. And the other nations will be anywhere between serfs and middle class. Because they got to make things happen to bring in the forces of the Gentiles in Isaiah 60. Peace follows the fall of the ruler. When we whoop these other nations' ass, you're going to know why we're whipping your ass. See, Esau whip your ass and don't tell you why. He just feel like bombing shit. Well, what did you do? Why do we do this? Why did you do this to us? You're going to know exactly why you getting your ass whipped. It says, trees rejoice. Trees represent people. And trees. Trees are going to grow. Isaiah 54 says that this earth is going to grow. GMS, symbolic of creation, responding to the end of exploitation. Verses 9 and 11, or verses 9 to 11. She all stirred, the fallen ruler is mocked in death. GMS thinks this is a symbolic humiliation, not literal underground teaching, right? Which is hell. It's not. You're in a bad condition, a hellish condition. Emphasizes loss of glory and status. You're going to lose everything. Verses 12 to 15. Lucifer, passage. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Lucifer, son of the morning, we're going to chase you out of earth. Lucifer, Lucifer, Lucifer. GMS, and I was Benjamin, collabing with Jay-Z. Lucifer, son of the morning, we're going to chase you out of earth. If I'm saying it, I'm pretty sure I'm saying it right. GMS interpretation, very important difference. Not about Satan as a spiritual being, exactly. Not about a fallen angel. Lucifer equals a human ruling class. Specifically Edom, or the Edomites. Heaven, political power, not the sky. I will be like the Most High, rulers acting as gods over people. That's your 1%. The super rich. They rule. They don't give a damn about the poor, man. Nero is cutting everything for the sake of the super rich to become richer. He's talking about, oh, we're gonna from this deal we're gonna get 18 trillion. You ain't gonna get, you gonna get crumbs from it, man. He'll put crumbs back, and he don't give a fuck about the vassals and the serfs. Which the vassal system is dying. Middle class, no middle class. Just the super elite and the dirt poor, the serfs. Serfdom. Let me look up the word serfdom. And you have revolutions from this system when you do away with the middle class and everybody becomes, you got two classes. 1% represents the super elite, super rich, that look down on the rest, and the next class is serfdom, right? Let's look up the word serfdom. Serfdom, meaning let me do it this way, serfdom. Let me do this. Serfdom meaning in history. Because that's what they're creating, a serfdom. He's cutting everything because he don't give a fuck about the middle class or the poor. And when you go into the history of the planet, that's how revolutions happen, because people are dirt poor that they say fuck it, they ain't got nothing else to lose. Like the Joe Salenti says, when people have nothing else to lose, they lose it. And that's a beautiful statement. Serfdom in history was a medieval European system where peasant farmers, serfs, were bound to a lord's land, unable to leave, marry, or change jobs without permission. Wait a minute. You got these guys, you got Nate talking about you can only have one wife. Then you have a law where if you marry more than one woman, you can get locked up for it. Unable to leave. You niggas ain't leaving nowhere. You stuck in America. You jakes that go to Africa, a lot of you women go out to Africa, you getting killed out there. You meeting these men and they setting your ass up and they killing you. It says unable to leave, marry, or change jobs without permission. You got to get your working papers. That hooks you up with the government so they can tax you. Working the land in exchange for protection and a place to live. Differing from slavery, as serfs had some rights. Right now, we have some rights. If you had a choice, would you rather deal in this form of slavery or, 1820s or the 1700s? That hardcore slavery when you was out in the field in the South, working from Kansas to Kansas. So we went from being straight up slaves to serfs. It says slavery as serfs had some rights, owned their own meager possession. You got your little meager. You got your little. They let you get a 65-inch flat screen. They let you get cable. They let you get Netflix, right? And were tied to the land, not as property to be sold separately. They owed labor and a large share of their produce to the Lord. That's taxes. If you sat down and your paycheck and find out how much money is going towards taxes, because you have federal tax, state tax, local tax, this tax, excise tax, taxes on top of taxes. If you gross 1,000, you might be bringing home a 500. That's serfdom, man. And these Edomites is, they crashing out because they feeling like they jakes, forming the base of the feudal. In the movie Jones Plantation, I keep telling you all to watch it. It's low budget, but it's you. In the end, you'll be like, yeah, that's a good movie. Basically, the Jake went from putting them in slavery to making them serfs, but he didn't use the word serfs, and gradually declined due to economic shifts, plague and social unrest. Plague and social unrest, though it persists much later in Eastern Europe. Okay, wait a minute. It says they owe labor based on the feudal. We're living in the feudal society, social structure, and gradually decline due to economic shifts, plague, and social unrest. Social unrest. Let's look that up. We're wordsmiths over here. Social unrest history. Let's go to history. Okay, give me a second here. Let me do it this way. Every so many years, you got social unrest. The French Revolution. And that was, 1787. That was the second so-called democracy, republic. A history of social unrest. A history of social unrest reveals a consistent human struggle against oppression. Go back to Isaiah 14:2. We're going to oppress them that oppressed us. We're going to enslave them that enslaved us. That's why you got these Edomite Christians, born againers, coming out to the camps. Oh, I know where that camp is. Let's go and show them that they're going off. Or let's approach them with some money. Yeah, we know about y'all, Genesis. Y'all got approached. In inequality and injustice spanning from ancient revolts like Spartacus to modern movements for civil rights, labor rights, and environmental justice. And that's how it happened around, scattered throughout the whole planet Earth. There's protests going on. Unrest. But guess what? The American media, they don't show all that because they don't want you to think, oh man, everybody's protesting. There's protests going on in the States. Using diverse tactics like strikes, marches, legal battles, and boycotts to demand systemic change with errors like the 1960s U.S. civil rights era and post-WW2 or World War II global anti-colonialism, seeing intense periods of protests. That's what we're living right now. A change of worlds, often sparked by police brutality, or you got the Watts riots. You got the riots in New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey. You had the Black Wall Street. Discriminatory laws shaping societies and shifting power dynamics. Let me just open this up. Let me do this. Let me do this. A list of histories social unrest. A list of history's social unrest. Wow. When I open this up, it's going to be long. History is filled with social unrest, from ancient revolts like Egypt's Nubian revolt to modern movements like Occupy Wall Street. That was in early 2000s, right? French Revolution, U.S. Civil Rights Movement, the Civil War, protests. Let's open it up. Look at this. And be here all day and all night. Global examples. Spartacus Rebellion. Now, Spartacus was a Jake. 73 BCE. That was before the Lord came on the scene. A massive slave uprising, because these were gladiators. So there's a movie on it. This actually happened. The movie Gladiator, that was semi-made up. A massive slave uprising in ancient Rome. Why didn't they go down? Because the Most High was with Rome, because they had to fulfill prophecy. Yellow Turban Rebellion, 184 CE, which is AD. A peasant revolt in China against the Han Dynasty. French Revolution, 87. I thought it was 87. 1789 to, so that was a 10-year revolt. Overthrew the monarchy, leading to republic and empire driven by economic hardship and inequality. You got the super rich, the 1%, against the serfs, because there was no middle class. They did away with the middle. All these middle class people are going poor. They're losing their status as a middle class. Haitian Revolution, 17, and they hate Haiti to this very day. It says, and by the way, what made Haiti's dirt poor was the French sued them for calling a revolt against them and killing them. They said, look, we lost our business, we lost our money, so we're going to sue. You had an international court that sued from Haiti. Let me go ahead and try to find that. Let me see. Let me do this. So this is history class, y'all. Okay, give me a sec. Come on now. Come on, y'all. Let it come on up. Give it a second, y'all. Do it this way. I'm sorry. This is what I wanted. Okay. Did France sue Haiti after the revolt? The word is sue. Is it L-I-E? Is it? I'm sorry, sue. Let me do it this way. Did France bring a lawsuit against Haiti after the revolt? No, France didn't file its lawsuit. Instead, after Haiti's successful slave revolt and independence, France forced Haiti to pay a massive... Yeah, they said that they're going to keep fighting until they overtake Haiti. So Haiti capitulated, even though they won the initial revolt. It said, we got more power than you and we're going to keep coming. It said France forced Haiti to pay a massive indemnity, ransom, or reparations in 1825 for recognition or reparations, essentially suing the new nation for lost property. Look, you took our slaves. You killed us. We ain't making no more money, so we're going to sue you. Well, guess what? The reason why they revolted against you, because you oppressed them. Crippling its economy for over a century, 100 years, and leading to modern calls for French to pay reparations. They ain't paying it. They ain't paying. You're going to have to take it from their ass. So this is going to... And then you got Genesis. They're bent over backwards for the other nations to make it. They don't give a fuck about Israel, man. They're major sellouts, man. Major sellouts. Deacon Akar and Brother Hassad, you two are major sellouts. What's the year? And it's a week before the new year coming in, 2026. Year of apostasy, agents, and sellouts. And there's a lot of sellouts among our people, man. So there you go. Look at this. I ain't even mentioned all of the various different nations. There's a laundry list. It's showing you that there was only, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not even 10. Get the fuck out of here, man. Fuck out of here with that shit. United States. There's rebellion against George. They said George Washington was a great man. No, Virginia was ready to go to war with George Washington over the Whiskey Rebellion. So y'all don't study history, man. Talking about Esau got him. If Esau can't make it, I don't want to make it. Well, guess what? You ain't gonna make it. Boston Tea Party. Right. Shays Rebellion, 1786. It was a year. Farmers in Massachusetts protested high taxes and debt. What's happening right now? High taxes and debt. What is a tariff? It's a debt. You would buy a car for X amount of money. A couple months later, you would get something in the mail from the federal government. Oh, this is a tariff. You got to pay for this. So when Nero made you believe that we're going to put a tariff on these people, the tariff was on you. You had to pay for the tariff. China said it. We ain't sending you no motherfucking cars. All right? Y'all got to know what's going on around you politically. Boston Tea Party, 1773. Colonists protest British taxation by dumping tea into Boston Harbor. And the British were addicted to tea. Oh, New York City draft riots. This is based on the movie Gangs of New York. Remember they had the riot? They didn't want to be... What they were doing, they were sending Irish and Italians and different Europeans. When they were coming over to the country, they would put them in the war. They would make them fight the Civil War. Like it says, right? New York City draft riots. Violent protests against Civil War. Right, against Civil War. Because the Civil War started in 1961. So they wanted people to go, they wanted people to draft people in the military to go down to the South and kill them people, man. It's a violent protest against Civil War conscription. That's a draft. Targeting, oh, wait a minute. Targeting African Americans. Let me read that again. Violent protests against Civil War conscription targeting African Americans, meaning they were getting these former slaves and they were saying, you got to go fight in that war. That was the movie Glory was all about. Shoot, give me my juice. Inside joke. Look at that. Major protests in Chicago. Zoot Suit riots. That was Issachar, man. Servicemen attacked Mexican-American youth in Los Angeles because they were wearing them suits. And that was some fine material. There are movies on that, plays on that. Watts riot, 1965. Major unrest in Los Angeles following a police encounter leading to 34 deaths. Stonewall riots, I'm not even going to go into that. Civil rights movement from the 1950s to the 60s. Marches, sit-ins, and boycotts for racial equality, including the 1963 March on Washington. And my stepfather was actually there. He said, yeah, I was there. I was there in the audience. Occupy Wall Street. That was 2011. Themes and social unrest. Economic grievances. Poverty. Unemployment. High tax. What's going on right now? Poverty. You got people that worked all their lives and get that home. You got people that have fucking 2 jobs and fucking homeless. Political inequality, lack of representation, unfair laws, racial, ethnic conflict, discrimination, police brutality, civil rights, social change, women's suffrage, disability rights, LGBTQ plus rights. Let's come back over here. So now we're in the verse 17. Now that was kind of covering, hey, there's a lot of history in Isaiah 14 chapter. Verse 16 and 17. The ruler exposed. We read about that in Isaiah 47. People realized he was just a man. GMS. Former rulers lose their mystique and authority. These guys ain't nothing but criminals, man. And you gotta be stupid to get ready to put somebody else in the fucking White House. You gotta be stupid. You gotta be out your fucking mind. You're slow. You should be going to school on the pickle bus. I call it pickle bus for a reason. Dishonorable burial. Unlike kings, this ruler is cast out. GMS, symbolic of total disgrace, not literal burial practices. End of lineage. No descendants continue his rule. Why not? Because they're going to be done away with. They're going to be Obadiah 1:18. Now you got divine prospects. Well, that's not going to happen. That's symbolic. That's not going to really happen. He uses his theological cemetery talk. Okay, good. Let's say that doesn't happen. I don't have a problem kicking their ass forever. In a way, I almost kind of don't want them to get taken out. Either way, they fucked. And that's a mercy thing. The fact that the Most High going to get rid of them is an act of mercy. No descendants continue in his rule. GMS, destruction of ruling dynasties and systems, not individual families only. Right, the whole system's coming down. 24 to 27, we almost finished. The Most High's plan cannot be stopped. You can't turn it back. It tells you that in, let me go to that real quick. Back to the basics. Okay, we're in 2nd Ezra 16. We're going to start from the top. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Assyria. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Because all these nations are going to be involved in one way or another. Gird up yourselves with cloth of sack and hair. Bewail your children, because there's going to be a lot of dead. The time of Jacob's trouble is also the time of Esau's trouble and the nation's trouble. Because there's going to be a shift. And be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. Babylon's destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? That sword represents the Most High sword, Isaiah 34. That's talking about, referring to the missiles. A fire is sent among you, the missiles, and who may quench it? Who may put it out? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is it? What is he that may drive them away? Zechariah 14 and 12 tells you that this is the plague. So the missiles are the plague that you're going to get hit with. All the nations that have came up against us, you're going to suffer this plague. Meaning, you got all the nations are in America. And then you're going to have the nations scattered on the planet, around the entire planet. And they're going to see this thing go down. May any man drive away an hungry lion in the wood, or may any one quench the fire in stubble when it hath begun to burn. May one turn again the arrow, the missiles, the ICBMs, that is shot of a strong archer. The strong archer are the silos. The mighty Lord Yahweh sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? 9th verse, a fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? Yahweh shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? At his presence. What's going to be left? Powder, dust, sand, a desert. The elements shall melt with fervent heat. The Most High's plan cannot be stopped. GMS prophecy, unavoidable judgment on current world powers. And you can't do what the people of Nineveh did and repent. But first of all, you're not going to be able to get the whole nation to. Can you imagine Nero Redivivo saying we're going to have a national fast, and we're going to ask the Most. Let's say he calls on the true name of the Most High. First of all, that's not going to happen. And if it did happen, the prophecies got to come to pass. You cannot change the prophecies. Verses 28 to 32. Message to the Philistia. That's actually talking about the Arabs. Warning not to rejoice too early. GMS. Lesson that no nation escapes judgment, even those who benefit temporarily. Well, that's your Psalms 2. Why did the nations rage and the people imagine a vain thing? Because China think they're going to be the next. China ain't going to be the next power. Topic: Babylon, mainstream view, ancient empire, GMS view, modern Western power. The uttermost west is where? North America. Lucifer, metaphor of Satan. Human rulers, Edomites. Lucifer equals Edomites. Ruling struck class of Edomites. Israel, Jewish people. Specific modern ethnic groups, which black Native Americans and Latinos, Hispanics. Fulfillment, past plus spiritual, future geopolitical reversal. Future geopolitical reversal. Highly literal about GMS interpretations are highly literal about ethnicity, highly symbolic about politics, often paired with hostile rhetoric or talk toward other groups, which many religious scholars and communities reject. Future fulfillment, future geopolitical reversal. Let's look that up. Reversal of fortune. Trading Places, the movie Trading Places. That's what it's about, Jake and Esau. Meaning. A geographical reversal refers to a significant and often sudden shift or complete change in the established patterns, power, dynamics, or direction of international relations and global politics. The EU, NATO nations are going to turn against Babylon. Changing power centers. A major power such as the United States becoming more focused on internal policies among other nations like China or Russia to raise and share the role of global leader, because you got three superpowers: the US, Russia, and China. China and Russia are allies. China and Russia are mad as hell at Nero Redivivos because of the blockage down there in Venezuela, because the oil tankers are going to China. Remember, China and Russia are allies. So they're going to be in part of the war. They possess missiles. They're going to shoot the missiles off. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom on to the next shalom.